And honestly, I did experience a lot of this. Actually, they don't really care about you. You have to be careful with these people as well. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your host Lavin, and today in this video I've picked up a topic which I think most of you will be interested in, and I think most of you will actually relate to or even connect to, which is fake people. I think most of you, including me, would have come across someone or a certain group of people who would fit into this phrase fake people perfectly. This might have happened at least once in your lifetime, where you must have felt very betrayed or even lost trust on people because of this certain someone or a certain group of people. So today in this video I will be breaking it into 4 sections, where I'll be covering some topics like who are fake people, how to identify them, how to avoid them, and finally how not to be one of them. So I hope you will get some valuable information from this video. With that said, without any further delay, let's get started. Who are fake people? So to start answering this, I would start with a general definition of fake people. The people who pretend to be someone they are not, showing a false persona to the world, can be termed as fake people. So here you can just get this point, right? Which is the ones who can be termed as fake people will be someone else, pretending to be someone else, wearing a mask. You can ask, why do they do this? To get some benefits out of you. It can happen knowingly, which is the most dangerous one, but it can also happen unknowingly, which is the other person who is fake to you might actually have intentions to be fake with you, or in another case just being fake without realizing he or she is fake with you. I hope you got my point. So the first case where he is actually wantedly being fake, it is actually hard for you to identify them because they'll be very calculated, because they have to get their own benefits out of you. Purely because of that, they'll be around you and trying to cover all those tracks and being all nice to you and doing all sort of stuff. But the second case, where the other person doesn't even know that he or she is being fake with you, comes where their needs are not materialistic. For the instance, I would say he or she is in depressed mode and she's not able to, he or she, I'm constantly saying he or else she for the most part, so whatever I say, take it in the one which is applicable to you. So he might not actually be very well mentally and be depressed. In that situation, you might have crossed paths with each other and they might have met you, or you might have met them, and then they might start feeling better. See, once that happens, they'll start being around you for most of the time, so they are being actually good and they are having good time, but this will only last until they find a better option. So you might not actually frame them as fake ones, but then honestly, if you think about it, you'll actually consider them as fake as well. So once you know this, I hope you got a brief idea of who are fake people is. Now I'll go into the topic where you can identify them. How to identify fake people. So identifying fake people can sometimes be very challenging, because I said you can't actually term someone as fake even when they are not, and sometimes you can't even know they are fake because they are acting that well. Identifying them would be very challenging, but here I'll try to suggest you some ways where you can identify them. First behavior is inconsistency. You can observe this very well, because when someone is coming to you on a specific need, they'll only be around you or talk to you nicely until they get their work done. So let's say someone is coming to you because you're good at something. So until their work gets completed, they'll be talking very nicely to you. They'll be inquiring about your needs and how you are feeling at that moment and talk very nicely to you. But then actually they don't really care about you. They only care about the work you are doing for them. So once you complete that work, they don't even recognize your presence over there. Even if you go and talk to them, they'll be like, oh, hello, you are here, and certain stuff like this. And and nothing more than that. I might sound like I have experienced it, and honestly I did experience a lot of this, and that is my motivation behind making this video as well. Another behavior of fake people would be gossiping and backstabbing. See, when someone does this thing, you might not actually know that. See, because someone is actually gossiping about you might not reveal that he or she is gossiping about you. So how can you identify these people? Is like let's say you have someone who is actually gossiping about someone else with you. So here you can know that this guy or this girl is not being honest to that someone else and actually talking a lot of bad things about them with you. And if he or she is doing something like this, there is no guarantee that they will not be doing the same thing with someone else about you. So if someone is doing these kind of stuff with you, talking negatively about someone or backstabbing, trying to backstab someone and talking that with you, you have to be careful with these people as well. I've already said about this, but I'm talking it again, which is dishonesty. So if they are fake, they'll be dishonest for most of the time. It might be very small thing or it could be a very big thing, but honestly they don't speak it from their heart. They just do it until their work gets done and their motto is fulfilled. So these are some major things. There are quite a lot of things if I break them down, but then I think it's not necessary to break it down because the ones I've mentioned till now will actually prove someone's genuinity. But for these to work, you have to spend some time with them, and honestly you have to be vulnerable with them, because if you're not vulnerable, they won't show you their true selves. No matter how hard you try without being vulnerable, you can't actually spot these people out. So be careful, my friend, and take your chances in identifying them, because you don't actually need too many people to be around you. You just need few genuine people in your core circle, and that's it. You don't actually need more than that. So coming to the third section, which is how to deal with them. So now you know who are fake people, who can be termed as fake, and how you can identify them. Now it's time you learn how to deal with them. So here I'll be suggesting you certain ways that you can start avoiding these kind of people entering your life. This is actually important thing to do, because these people will actually break your mental peace and destroy your actual well-being. So the first thing you have to do in this scenario is that you have to know about yourself. Firstly, get to know about yourself. Try different things out. Be with a lot of people. I think this is actually sounds quite ironic, which you have to get hurt in order to know the pain and the suffering you will be going through if you go through it again. So once you actually experience this, then your guard will be up and you'll start protecting yourself. So firstly, know yourself, what your likes are, what your dislikes are, what you want from others, and what you can offer others. The second thing would be set clear boundaries. So once you are self-aware, you have to place some personal boundaries where you'll communicate with people and say what things are unacceptable to you and what things are acceptable, and what consequences they might have to face if they try to cross that boundaries. So once you are very clear about this, people will actually be cautious about what they are talking about to you and what they are doing, and you might actually start noticing most of the people disappear. If you look at it correctly, then it is a good point to happen. The next thing would be your personal information. In this case, I have done many mistakes in my life, which is sharing my personal information with basically everyone. So it actually happens like this in my life, where I meet a stranger. For the instance, let's take I'm in college, so that stranger will be a student as well. Then I start talking with them and I'll start revealing them my personal information, which is not actually required in that conversation as well, but I actually do it in a flow, and then I think that they are being nice, so they won't do any harm to me. But then I realized that for most part it is actually doing much more harm than any good. So sharing it to everyone will make you very weak and very vulnerable, because they'll know all your weaknesses, and if their bond gets bad with you, they'll start using these things against you. So search for someone who mutually respects you and cares for you, and you do the same to them. So doing this will get you few people in your core circle whom you can trust and say anything you want. So following these kind of things will help you a lot, avoiding the fake ones and getting genuine bonds in your life. So finally, how not to be one of them. Till now I've talked about everything regarding fake people and how to deal with them as well. But if you think even you could be fake to many people, right? So how not to be that one is very crucial while you are searching for someone. And I personally believe that if you meet 100 people in your lifetime, in that with 90 people you'll always be fake, and only 10 people will see your genuine self. This might not be something which you are doing wantedly, but then this is something which is happening involuntarily, because life might put you in a situation where you can't do anything else other than that to avoid more worse situations. Firstly, practice self-acceptance. You don't have to be someone else. Mostly fakeness comes out of people's insecurities of the things they can't do, or the things which are not allowing them to be a part of a certain group or a certain position. These are the situations which make someone to be fake even though they don't want to. So in these situations, once you accept yourself on your weaknesses, your strengths, your insecurities, that this is the fact and it can't be changed, or even if it can, I have to work hard. So once you have this set, then you start going to people and start talking with them genuinely without pretending to be someone else, so that they'll start liking you. So if you just genuinely be yourself, you start attracting the people who are actually like you and build a wonderful bond with them. You also should be mindful of your motives, where I mean when you're actually talking with someone and being very nice to them, doing all sorts of things for them, you should question yourself, what are your motives behind doing all this to them? So are your motives something like, he's good at it, so I might get some benefits out of him in the future if I need something? Then you have to stop, because you're actually being the fake one right there to the other guy or girl. Or instead, if you are actually being very genuine and talking to them with your whole heart, listening to their problems genuinely and giving them solutions without actually expecting anything in return, then if they are also actually doing that for you, then you might have gotten a really close one and a really genuine person over there. As I've also said, you have to be vulnerable with the people who you want to be close with, and this has to be mutual. You should not be one-sided, and if this is actually mutual, then it will definitely work out well. We will get a good friend or a family member for your future self. And also be accountable for the actions you did. If you have hurt someone, genuinely go there and apologize them for what you did. Explain them what actually happened and why you had to do it. So whatever you do, just be accountable to it. And finally, I want to say this, that no matter how hard you try, you cannot completely avoid all the fake people in the world, and at the same time you cannot be 100% genuine to everyone you meet in your life. But if you give your 100% in being the most genuine person you can ever be to the people you meet, I'm 100% positive in the long run you will get some beautiful people to be around you, to be in your inner circle, who actually value you, value your presence, give you importance and priorities in their life as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you got some valuable information out of this video, and if you did, then make sure you like this video and subscribe the channel for more useful content like this, and I'll see you guys in another one.